All right, now that we have learned about loops, it's time to take them to the next level by understanding three special keywords: break, continue, and pass. These keywords help us to control how the loop situations. So let's get started. So the first keyword I want to start with is break. So we use break keyword to stop the loop. Okay. So sometimes you might want to stop a loop before it completes all its iteration. Okay. So that's when we use break statement. And most what it will do is it will immediately stop the loop. Okay. So that's how break statement works. So let's take an example. Let's create one for loop for number in range 1 comma 10. Okay, so for number in range 1 comma 9, I mean 1 comma 10 means this for loop is going to run or iterate 9 times. Okay, now we can break this loop when some condition is met. Okay, so you can, inside the for loop you can add some condition. Let's say if number is equal to 5. Okay, so if the number is 5, then we want to break this loop. Okay, so we just want to come out of this loop. Okay, so if number is equal to 5, let's break this loop. Okay, so this break is one simple reserved keyword in Python. All right, so if number is equal to 5, then just break this loop. Okay, so this means your code will break this loop and come out of the loop. All right, so let's say just above the break statement we can simply print this. Let's say the number is, I will make, I'll just add f string and just say number. The number is 5 and stopping the loop. Okay, stopping the loop. And after that you can print the number here. So the way this loop will work is for number in range 1 comma 10, and for each iteration it is going to check if the number is 5 or not. So in the first iteration the number is 1 and it will not go into, go inside this if condition. It will simply print 1. Similarly in the next iteration it will print 2, 3, 4, and after that once the number becomes 5, it is going to print this one. The number is 5 and stopping the loop. Okay, so this break statement will then breaks the loop and come out of the code. And if you want to, print something here, stopped. Okay, stopped. All right, so let's try to run this code. And you see here it has printed 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the number is 5 and stopping the loop. This one has this one is printed, and after that the break statement just came out of the loop and printed this stop. Okay, so that's how break works. And one more keyword that we have in Python is continue. Okay, so continue means skipping the next iteration. Okay, sometimes you might want to skip a certain part of the loop but continue with the next iteration. Okay, now the continue statement does exactly that. All right, so let's take another example. I will just I'll comment it, and I will simply say, for number in range, let's say 1 comma 10 again. For number in range 1 comma 10, now I want to check if the number is even. Okay, so if the number is even, then I want to skip that even number and print all the odd numbers. Okay, so I will again check if number modulus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so if number modulus 2 is, the remainder is 0, then this means the number is an even number, right? If it is an even number, then I just want to skip that even number. I just don't want to print that even number. So that's why I will simply say continue. Okay, so after that continue, I will print the number. I'll print the number. So what is happening here? I'm looping through each of these numbers from 1 to 9, and I'm checking if the number is even, then I'm going to continue. Okay, what is continue? I'm going to skip that number. Okay, I'm going to skip that even number, and then I'm printing this number. So now in the first iteration, the number is 1. Okay, so if number 1 modulus 2 is equal to 0, no. So that's why this continue will not run on the number 1, and then it will print number 1. And after that, in the next iteration, the number is 2. Now if number 2 modulus 2 is equal to 0, right? So that's why this 2 will be skipped. Okay, 2 will be skipped. Now let's save, and let me clear it and run the program. And you can see here 13579. Okay, all the odd number has been printed, and all of those even numbers has been skipped. Okay, so that's why whenever you want to skip some certain part of the loop, then you can use skip keyword. All right, and then we have pass. So sometimes in the loop, you might want to do nothing. Okay. So you want to do nothing just to avoid the errors. Okay. So the pass statement allows you to do that. Okay. So it's like saying, I'll handle this part later. So let's take an example and let's try to understand how and when to use pass. Okay. So in the for loop, for number in range 1 comma 10. Okay. Again, we'll take the same loop. So now let's say this number, this for loop is going to loop 10 times. Okay, 10 or 9 times. I think it is going to print 1 to 9, right? So it is going to loop 9 times. Now, if the number becomes 3, then I will pass this. Okay, so pass means I just don't want to do anything. I just don't want to print the 3 number itself. Okay, so if number if number is equal to 3, then I just don't want to do anything. Okay, so it's like I'll do, I'll take care of this part later. Okay, so, and in the else case, I will print the number. Okay, in the else case, I'll print the number. So what it will do is, so in the first iteration, the number is 1. So this condition fails, and it will print, it will go to the else case, and it is going to print 1. Similarly, 2 also is going to print, and when the number becomes 3 in the third iteration, the number is 3, and this condition passes. And then what is inside this condition? We are just telling our code to pass. We just don't want to do anything. So it's like if the number is 3, then I will do something later. It's like I'll call someone, I'll send an email. It's like that. All right. So that's why. So it's like telling the code, just don't do anything and go to the next iteration. Okay, so if the number is 3, it is passed, and after that it will go to the number 4, fourth iteration. So that's how you use pass. So break keyword stops the loop completely, and continue skips the current iteration, and then pass, this pass keyword does nothing. You can use it as a placeholder. So that's how you can control your loops using break, continue, and pass. Okay, so these keywords are super useful for handling different situations in your program.